Hello students, today you'll be solving the multiple choice questions of Julius Caesar Act 5 Scene 1. So before we start, let's first look at the overview of the scene. So this scene takes place in the plains of Philippi where Octavius is telling Antony, Antony, our hopes are answered. You said that the enemy will not come from higher region, but that appears not to be the case. They are approaching us and responding even before we have a chance to challenge them. So Antony says they are just putting a fierce look on their face, but they are not brave from within. A messenger enters and warns them, saying, prepare yourself, generals. The enemy is approaching, putting on a gallant show. That is when Antony tells Octavius, please lead your battle softly on the left-hand side of the even field. But Octavius says, no, I will go on to the right side. Antony says, Octavius, why do you want to defy me in this critical moment? So Octavius says, I don't want to defy you or cross you, but I will do so. Octavius is all ready to fight. So he tells Antony, shall we give the sign of battle? So Antony says, no, let's first have a word. They have a verbal dispute with each other, and Cassius calls Antony and compares him to Hybla bees. And he says that your words are so sweet that they rob the bees of their honey. So Antony says, yes, and I take their stings too. And Brutus says, yes, and you also render them silent, as you very wisely warned us before you stung us. Antony gets angry and he says, you villains, but you did not give any warning before your wild daggers hacked Caesar. And you smiled like apes and fawned like dogs and bowed like bondmen kissing Caesar's feet, while Casca like a dog struck Caesar from the neck. Oh, you flatterers. So Cassius says, we flatterers? Brutus, thank yourself. This tongue wouldn't have offended us if you had listened to me earlier and decided to slay Mark Antony along with Caesar. Octavius says, I will not put my sword back in my sheath until I have revenged every 33 wounds that is given to Caesar, or until another Caesar has died in the hands of the conspirator. So Brutus says, we don't intend to kill you unless you kill yourself. And Brutus says, if you were the noblest in your family, you couldn't die a more honorable death than die on my sword. Cassius calls Octavius an annoying, peevish schoolboy, and Antony a masker and a reveler. And then they part ways. Then Cassius tells Messala, Messala, today is my birthday, and this is the same day that Cassius was born. But I used to believe in the teachings of Epicurus and never believed in bad omens. But today, while we were coming from Sardis, two eagles fell and perched there. They ate from the hands of the soldiers and joined us at Philippi. But in the morning, as we reached here, they flew away, and in their place, ravens, crows, and kites flew, and they look upon us as we are prey and waiting for us to die. That is when Brutus enters, and Cassius says, let's think about the worst that might happen. If we lose the battle, this was the last time we speak to each other. He asks Brutus, what do you plan to do if we lose? So he says, I am not going to be like Cato by committing suicide. I am going to leave it to God of what decision he takes. So Cassius says, that means, will you be bound by chains? And would you walk through the streets of Rome willing to be a bondman? So Brutus says, no, I don't imagine that. Let's see what the day brings. And today we are going to end the work that began on the 15th of March. And therefore, accept my everlasting farewell. If we meet again, then we will smile. If not, this was a parting well made. Brutus is impatient to know what might happen towards the end. But he says, anyway, there is going to be an end of the day, and that is when we will know. And the scene ends. Now, since the overview is done, let's go through the multiple choice questions. The first question, where does the scene take place? A. A camp near Sardis. B. In Sardis. C. In the plains of Philippi. Or D. The battlefield. Second, what does Octavius mean by Antony, our hopes are answered? A. The enemy is approaching and confronting them. B. That the enemy is keeping to hills and higher regions. C. Brutus's army is waiting for them at Sardis. Or D. Both B and C. Third one. What does Antony tell about the enemy and their army? A. I am in their bosom and I know why they did it. B. They wish they were somewhere else, but they want to descend on us. C. They are making a brave appearance and hiding fear. D. All of the above. Who says the following lines? Their bloody sign of battle is hung out and something must be done immediately. A. Antony. B. Messenger. C. Octavius. Or D. Antony's servant. Fifth, to which direction does Antony tell Octavius to lead the army? A. To the right of the even field. B. To the center of the field. C. To the left of the even field. Or D. To follow Antony behind. Sixth, who suggested to give the sign of battle even before speaking to the enemy? A. Octavius. B. Antony. C. Brutus. Or D. Cassius. Seventh one. Brutus says, dash are better than bad strokes, Octavius. A. Compromises. B. Good intentions. C. Sweet words. Or D. Good words. Eighth one. Why does Cassius compare Antony to Hybla bees? A. Because he stings other people like a bee. B. He keeps buzzing around and talking bad about them. C. His words are sweet and steal honey from the bees. D. He is dangerous as the bees. 9. Which among these did Antony not mention about the conspirators? A. They struck Caesar like a lion piercing him. B. They smiled like apes. C. They fawned like dogs. Or D. They bowed like bondmen kissing Caesar's feet. 10th one. When will Octavius put his sword back in its sheath? A. Once Octavius has killed all the conspirators. B. Till Caesar's 33 wounds are revenged. C. Only after the war is over. Or D. Both A and B. 11. What does Brutus tell Octavius Caesar? A. That they will not kill Octavius Caesar until he tries to kill them. B. That they will not kill Octavius Caesar until he kills himself. C. They will kill Octavius and ask him to be prepared to die. Or D. You are destined to die on my sword. 12. What does Cassius call Octavius? A. Immature and childish. B. Cranky youngster. C. Peevish schoolboy. Or D. Immature kid. 13. Who says the following lines? If you dare fight today, come to the field. If not, when you have stomachs. A. Octavius. B. Antony. C. Brutus. Or D. Cassius. 14. What does Cassius mean by, if Cassius might have ruled, this tongue had not offended so today? A. If Cassius was the king, things would have been different. B. It would be better if Cassius had made all decisions. C. Brutus should have killed Antony as per Cassius's decision. D. None of the above. 15. Why does Cassius say, I once held Epicurus strong and his opinion, but now I changed my mind? A. He does not agree with Epicurus' Stoic philosophy. B. He believes fighting war is necessary. C. He did not believe in bad omens, but now he does. Or D. Both A and C. 16. What inauspicious sight does Cassius tell Messala about? A. Eagles perched and fed from the soldier's hand, but now they are replaced by raven, crows and kites. B. They are surrounded by vultures in Philippi. C. 2 eagles fed from their hands, but when they reached Philippi, they died. Or D. That Brutus saw the ghost of Caesar. 17. What did Brutus blame Cato for? A. Not fighting a war. B. Letting his daughter marry Brutus. C. Accepting defeat. Or D. Committing suicide. 18. Brutus says, farewell to thee, but if we do meet again, we shall dash. A. Cry. B. Smile. C. Embrace. Or D. Celebrate. 19. What does Brutus say he would do if they lose the war? A. He would kill himself to prevent possible suffering. B. He would be ready to be bound by chains. C. He will be optimistic to not lose. Or D. He will be patient and submit to what God decides. 20. How does Octavius respond to Antony's request to lead the battle softly on? A. He agrees. B. He suggests an alternative. C. He starts arguing. Or D. He walks away. So yes, that is the end of the multiple choice questions. Now you can check your answers. Here is the answer key. Please pause the video so that you can check each answer. Don't forget to watch the video of the line by line explanation of this scene, and I'll be adding the link towards the end. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe so that you don't miss any important videos. God bless you. Take care of yourself.